What's the worst part of having a child? Story 1. I've always wanted kids and still do, but this is the only thing that has come close to giving me pause. Both my siblings have young kids, and I cannot get over how constant it is. From the second the kids wake up to when they finally shut their eyes, it's non-stop. Then they get maybe an hour or two to themselves, which is mostly spent tidying up, etc. Before the nighttime stuff starts, baby crying, toddler coming into bed, nightmares, etc. It requires years of not getting a full night's rest. You can never just go out whenever you want. No sleeping in even on weekends because someone has to be up with them at 6 a.m. Raising human children is an insane task. Story 2. I've observed that parents who have the capability to worry if they are doing things wrong are generally good parents. It's the ones that are 100% certain that their way is correct that I worry about. I too have these worries, but we just do the best we can go with the knowledge we have at the time. I know I'll do things different with my second compared to my first, but we all just have to be willing to learn along the way. Story 3. Watching them make the same mistakes you did, even though you told them not to make those mistakes. Little Jimmy, if you borrow a bunch of money, those people are going to want it back, and if they don't get it back, they'll take stuff you won't want taken. Story 4. My 39 in-laws lost both their sons and only have their daughter left. Their youngest, 30, died of an overdose 5 years ago. My husband, 38, drowned a year and a half ago. Watching them all cope breaks my heart. If my mill contacts my SIL or me, we have to respond ASAP, or she starts imagining the worst. My Phil has pushed everyone away. I believe in his subconscious says if he pushes people away, then it won't hurt as much when they leave him. They love our kids, 8 and 10, but I think it breaks their hearts to see them. We only see them at Christmas now. Before my MIL at least attempted to make it to their birthdays. Perhaps if I meet another man, they'll feel more comfortable seeing us. Perhaps they won't see the pain we carry every day. The kids have also mentioned wanting a new daddy. I think what they really want is a male influence in their lives. My son, 10, misses playing video games and watching movies with his dad. My daughter, 8, misses the safety and security of having a protector in the house.
Story 5. On the bad days, I try to remember this. I try to remember I won't know the last time I will pick my kids up, the last time they need me to put on a piece of clothing. I won't know the last time of any of these menial tasks I do every day that feel cumbersome and frustrating sometimes. If I'm fortunate, it will be then growing up into independence. If I'm not, well, no one is guaranteed tomorrow. On the bad days, I try to remember. It goes so fucking fast. My 3-year-old today turned, she looked at me from the dinner table and said, "Mama, I don't need a sippy cup anymore. I'm a big girl." It didn't really hit me until writing this comment that it's another example of what passes generally unacknowledged and quickly forgotten. When I'm at the end of my life, I will not regret the dishes waiting to get done or not getting more work done, but I will regret the moments I took for granted that so many are robbed of. Thanks for coming to my existential crisis TED Talk. Story 6. My family and I run care homes for adults with disabilities. Some parents just drop them off at our doorstep with a suitcase and never look back, not even a visit ever. Some of the parents are in their 50s or 70s who never had a break and never wanted them in a care home because of the guilt they would feel leaving them with someone else. But after a certain point, they physically and mentally can't handle it. To those parents, I hope there are options and programs where you live. Just know there are homes and caregivers who devote their lives to make sure you and your loved ones are in good hands. We are governed by regional centers and the state, so rest assured we feed them well, have really nice housing conditions, integrate them into the community, and act as an extension of their family. It's nice to have their families visit once in a while to see their loved ones are in good hands, and you can tell they've made peace and are sleeping well with their decision. Story 7. I wish I had enough coins for an award right now. I worked both with severely and multiple disabled teens and disabled adults, and I've seen patients that were dropped off like a dog at a shelter and the parents never contacted them again. But also parents, grandparents, and siblings who fought so hard to take care of their family member at home and it was just too much. Who felt so guilty for putting them into a facility like ours. And they really, really shouldn't be. They deserve and need breaks and having a own life. A care home can be the best solution for everyone. They have a chance at living their life while their family member is taken care of by professionals. Sometimes they even like living in a facility better. They are surrounded by others who understand them. They don't feel alone with their disabilities, and for some it's an important step of growing up to move out. And when they go home on the weekends or for vacation, they can enjoy their time together even more. I wish every parent of a child with a disability that they have enough resources to deal with the situation in a way that's good for everybody. And I wish you and your family all the best. What you do is amazing, and I don't think you can hear that enough. Story 8. Our almost 17-year-old is severely disabled. It is so hard for all of the reasons you would expect. We have grown very close to his neurologist, and in the first year or so she pulled us aside and said that although there will be times that his needs have to be the priority, in every other moment we need to make our marriage the priority. Situations like ours rip apart a weak marriage but can cement a strong one. As hard as it has been, I don't think I could have made it through without him by my side. Story 9. My sister has Down syndrome, and my mom had to raise us both as a single parent, and I know it was so hard for her, and it still is. It's a lifelong thing, and that's really hard to deal with. My sister still has to live with and be taken care of by my mom even as an adult. I tell my mom is beyond burned out, so it's honestly a really awful situation and really bad for my sister. At first they're little and cute, and it's new, so you want to do your best. But then they get older and you get more worn out after dealing with it for so long. And it's not as cute or fun giving a bath to your 21-year-old as it is to your 6-year-old. Nobody seems to care about adults with disabilities as much, but someone has to still take care of them. Story 10. Slightly different example of the choose life rhetoric potentially, and literally in this case, causing extreme hardship and misery is a family I know. My best friend's brother-in-law and wife. They are a young couple who got pregnant with their second child about 2 years ago. The child had some extremely rare and certainly fatal heart defect, and the doctors told them in the middle of the pregnancy that this child probably wouldn't survive long, and if it did, it would live a very medicalized existence and still die young. There was virtually no chance this baby would live a full and healthy life, and only a minuscule chance it would reach adulthood at all. They were advised to terminate the pregnancy. We're not in the U.S., FYI. Now the family is religious, Catholic, but not hardcore fundamentalist or anything. However, the couple decided to put it in God's hands and God's will and have the baby. The baby was put in ICU immediately and never left the hospital. It lived for 6 months and had numerous operations, and the mother was at the hospital every day, and the whole extended family is devastated. Her other child hasn't had his mother around. The baby has lived this existence of suffering and operations. You wouldn't do that to a dog. Sorry to be so blunt, but it's the truth. A lot of the extended family are very resentful and angry, not openly, but quietly, because while even terminating the pregnancy would have been very sad, it would have avoided this extended trauma that everyone has experienced, particularly the baby and the other child. I think choosing life can be quite a reckless and callous rhetoric, even though it sounds compassionate on the surface. It can be anything but.